You know what's funny is a lot of people won't listen to people who are wiser than them because they don't want to admit that they are not as wise as they think they are. Let me tell you something. If you can learn from somebody else, learn from them. Because no matter what, somebody's always going to be smarter than you in this world. In some way. And it may be in your weakness, it may be in your strength. It doesn't matter. Somebody's always going to be smarter than you in some way in this world. I'm sorry to tell you that, that's the damn truth. I met a man who took and built a machine to cut chicken into chicken fingers by using water, pressurized water. This man was a genius. I got to see the machine. And then a few years later, he had died. And then a few years later, my ex worked on this machine. Tell me that ain't some junk. That man was so intelligent in certain aspects, but knew he wasn't intelligent in other areas. But he wasn't dumb to think he was more intelligent than anybody else. Because he knew somebody else can be smarter in different areas than what you can. And he taught me that. Because he taught me that I might be smart in my areas, but somebody else can be smarter in the same areas I'm smart in. Because we all don't have the same brain. We all don't carry the same interest. That's the deal. When you're interested in something, sometimes people go harder for that. And sometimes people don't. But I learned a lot from a lot of different people. Man, I had so much junk for cars in my lifetime that I had to go to other men, not the ones I dated, and get their help to fix them. I ain't playing with you. And then pay them to help me fix them because the men I dated wouldn't do the damn job. Yes, I'm not even playing. That is some junk. But that's what I had to do. Because they didn't want to educate themselves to help me fix it. And then my brother-in-law was a quote-unquote mechanic. And yet, he still didn't fix everything for me. Because it was for me and not his wife. But that's okay. I got it fixed. I just had other help. I always had help when I needed it. One day I remember the lights were turned off in our house before we got evicted from the house. And I made a couple phone calls, asked for help. And I prayed to God. I said, God, please turn these lights back on. It's too cold for my kids to be in this house without me. Needless to say, it worked out. And at that point, I wasn't doing my spiritual walk. Actually, I was mad at God. Very. I was married and mad at God. I was mad that not only did I marry the wrong man and settle and put up with some stupid shit, but I was mad at God for letting me get hurt in his house. Later on, I figured out that it's not him who let me get hurt. The people in the house ain't always good. The devil sends them there too, not just God. So when you're around people in a church, make sure you're around the right ones and you go to the right church. Because there's bad people everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. The devil's everywhere. Even in God's house. Because the devil has to see what certain people are doing to try to distract them from doing their purpose. And that is the truth. And if you got a purpose, your life is harder than you would ever imagine sometimes. Because sometimes your purpose and calling is higher than somebody else's purpose and calling. So you deal with a lot more hardship, problems, everything. Like, everything's just harder. And that is true. I didn't believe that when I was younger, but I do now. And I see it now. So, I understand it now. When I was hurt in his house, at first, like I said, I didn't realize that the word no meant that much. So I didn't really do anything. I went to church a couple more times. But after a while, I haven't walked in a church by myself in years. I've tried out a church here and there with somebody else with me. And that's it. But I can't walk into God's house by myself for the first time in that house, because I can't guarantee that I won't have a panic attack and have to get up and walk out and embarrass everybody. So I just don't go. I would rather just praise God my way, learn my way, and be my way. But then I also miss the opportunity to find people like me. So I do have one. I have one like me, and I'm grateful for him. And he knows I'm grateful for him. And he tells me how amazing I'm doing sometimes, and I tell him how amazing he's doing. And it's like we kind of just are there for each other when needed, even when not needed. But I'd like a family of that, not just one person, or two, or three. I'd actually like a family that actually was, the same as me. Because I never had a family. My family didn't want me. So I never had a church family either. So I always wanted a family. I mean, my kids, damn it, my kids. I'll go to war with my kids every day of the week. I don't care how old they get. But I mean, like, an actual family around me that helped me, support me, believed in me, trusted me, loved me, helped me worship, prayed for me, covered me, protected me. I've never had it. I wasn't protected when I was a kid. I was forced to be strong and to not be able to give up on being strong. I was forced to play sports I didn't like playing sometimes, or broke from playing sports I did enjoy, because, oh, well, you did this wrong, so you have to quit that. Yeah. And then, parents show up for one child, but didn't show up for the other child. Yeah. And then they all say they got problems. No. Y'all don't realize how good y'all had it. And we lived in the same damn house. Y'all were able to put your hands on me, but let me touch you when you guys were boys. And I'm a girl, but let me touch you. And I was always in trouble for that. I remember kicking my brother one time. He deserved it. I ain't playing with you. He deserved it. He was raging at me, and he is at like my dad instead of my brother. He was very, 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 very mean and abusive to me. He was not my protector. He hated me because my parents hated me.